I knew back then that I wanted to be different, right? Just wanted to, I wanted to have things. I wanted to have life. I knew there was more out there. I don't know how I knew it, but I just, I knew there was something out there. Being young and who I was, I wanted to, I wanted to do the hardest thing out there. I wanted to be, I wanted to challenge. But back then I even knew I needed to do something bigger, something better. I just had this drive to want to, do something more challenging. You know what I mean? So you have to understand how to connect with people, right?
Yeah.
And
what it's about.
Exactly. Yeah. No matter how you look at life, you need to figure out how to connect. If you want to be successful, you got to figure out how to connect with someone, right?
Welcome to From My Vue. I can't. Welcome to From My Vue Podcast, brought to you by the partners at From My Vue Marketing. We are your hosts, Madison and Michelle, and we are so excited to share this with you.
So, okay. All right. Welcome. See how we do this?
Yep. I'll pick it
We're
up.
ready to roll. Okay.
Yes.
So welcome to From My Vue Podcast. I am Michelle Del Pagetti.
And I'm Madison Keller.
And we're with Jeremy Brown from Brown's Heating and Air. Thanks for coming today.
Of course. Thanks for having me out. Appreciate the invite.
Yeah. So we have a lot of questions.
And hopefully I can answer them.
Yes, you definitely will. So I was talking to Jeremy out in the hallway. So I said, a lot of people were telling me you have got to interview Jeremy. He's got a great story. And so he's like, no, I don't really have that great of a story.
Just living life.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm excited to hear all about it. So let's start from the very beginning. So first of all, where did you grow up?
I actually grew up in Modesto, California.
Did you really?
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You would never think, but don't get me wrong. I grew up in Modesto, but I met my wife when I was 16. Oh, when she listens to this, she's gonna kill me. I met her when I was 16, and then I actually ended up moving in with her and her parents when I was shortly after that. So 16 and a half, something like that.
Really?
They were from Modesto as well. So they'd recently moved to Sacramento. So and I don't know how far you guys want to get into this, but I grew up let's say on the poverty side. So it's maybe that's why people say you want to talk to.
No, I love that. I love the story.
But spent the childhood down in Modesto, met my wife and her family, and then moved to Sacramento and just been building ever since.
So you've been together a long time.
31 years.
31 years. That's great.
Yeah.
And you're still happy.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, so I met her one time. She was awesome.
Yep. That was a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. She was having a great time.
Oh, she was.
Oh, wait, I was there too.
Yeah, you were.
Yes.
It was a Chico thing.
Yes.
It was a
Tad
cheap
Live.
vibe.
Tad,
Yep.
what is it called? That one tap house where you can walk around. Wasn't it there?
Yeah, it was a brewery.
Yeah, that brewery. Yes.
Yeah. She was awesome.
Yeah.
So she had a good time.
Yeah.
She doesn't. By the way, she doesn't go to those networking events with me that often.
Oh.
So that's why that's one of the reasons why she was like really enjoying herself. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy myself doing one of those things too.
Yeah.
But it's not that often she goes and does those things. So,
Oh, so it was like special.
It was a special
Okay,
time,
that's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So you're from Modesto and then you moved up to Sacramento
Yep.
with her family.
with the family, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So did the whole high school thing, independent studies.
Okay.
So as you can imagine, being young then, keep in mind, I'm almost 48 now. So do the math. 31 years ago.
Okay.
So that'd have been mid 90s, right? So times were different then. So we ended up, getting pregnant early. And that's not why I moved in, by the way. We weren't pregnant first.
Okay. Yeah.
So her family was very supportive, which was great. It definitely had to do with, I wouldn't say our success, because it's a team effort. To where we had our daughter, I think I was, 17 and a half, something like that. And my wife and I are about a year apart. So she was not even 17 yet when we had our daughter.
Oh, so you guys were young.
Very useful parents.
Oh, absolutely.
Her family was really supportive.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Her mom was
That's
very
great.
supportive. Yeah.
That's great.
Her parents, more so her dad, kind of has the same story I did, growing up, on harder times. So they kind of related, that thing. Plus they both lived rough lives as well, and they were successful. They were able to pull themselves out of it. So they wanted to pass it on, if you will, pay forward, however you want to look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my daughter is 29 years old, and she's actually been working with me for, she's gonna kill me, 8-9 years now. So we put her through college, all that good stuff. So she's actually the office manager of Brown's Heating and Air.
Oh,
So,
is she?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
Oh, it is. It is very exciting. So she has a lot to do with her success. Well, she's got a birthday coming soon also. So
When's her birthday?
it's June, middle of June. Yeah,
She's gonna be 30.
exactly.
Can you believe you have a 30-year-old daughter?
Oh, no.
That's wild.
Some people think, oh, yeah, you guys had a kid early, and then I have friends that are in the 40s, and they're just barely having their first kid.
Yeah.
I'm sitting back, my wife and I actually, she shares the same thing. We're thinking, we couldn't imagine starting over.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I knew like that would.
No way.
Yeah, no way. Right.
No way.
So we actually have a 2-year-old grandson. Actually, he's gonna be 3 soon, and yeah. So I'm actually grateful that at a young age of 47, almost 48, I'm able to, I don't want to say keep up with him, but I can run with him.
Yeah,
kind of thing. So that's exciting. I'm very grateful for that. So yeah, it's
What's his name?
his name is Chase.
Chase.
Chase. Yes,
Is that your only grandchild?
it is.
Gosh, you're a grandpa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Your papa.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love that.
Oh.
That's great.
I've heard that before with like the young siblings, or not young siblings, your young kids and then your grandkids. It's good when you're young because you can keep up with them.
Yeah.
You really can.
Yeah, you really can.
So, I mean, it's kind of a cool way to look at it.
Yeah.
I like it.
So you have one daughter?
One daughter, and then we have Josh. He's obviously our son. And he's 25. He just turned 25.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're 5 years apart. That was we actually planned it that way. That was on
right.
purpose. I'll be honest. The first one wasn't exactly planned at
No.
imagine that age, but
Yeah.
the second one was.
Oh, that's great. Oh, good. Now, does he work with you?
Yes, he does. He does. So
Gosh, he's a family business.
Oh, it goes much deeper than that. But yeah, it is absolutely a family business. So he does the mechanic side of the business. So I'm sure we'll get into this, but we have 18 service trucks. Well, between the estimators and the service trucks, we have 18. Well, somebody has to take care of that fleet.
Yeah.
So he's the guy behind the scenes that are, replacing alternators and tires and things like that.
So
How cool is
So
that?
when did you? So let's back up a little bit. So what did you start from the very beginning? What did you get into? Like when you started? I know this is kind of going back, but
No, that's fine. That's great.
Did you? Oh gosh, there goes my mic. Just here, you're fine. So we need technicians here to help us with this. I'm not sure what's happening. So maybe I just hold. Maybe I need just one of the ones that clip on.
Right.
Right.
I know.
But then I wouldn't look cool like you guys.
Cool. There, so
Yeah.
that helped. Helped with like the balance.
Oh yeah, offset the what? Offset the weight.
Maybe I'm wondering if it's. Oh, you know what? It's
Cord too
the
short?
cord. No, this is the heavy cord. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. See how you have a lighter cord? I think that's what it is.
Definitely. That's it right there.
There we go.
Yep.
Look at me, I'm a technician.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna have to go like this.
Nah, you're good.
Just you don't
It's
have
fine.
to.
It's fine.
You're good.
Nobody needs to hear me. I'm like, okay. So
So stepping back, I'll try to keep it as brief as possible because, like I said, I like to ramble on things. So again, Jamie's my daughter, by the way. I don't know if you've met her. She's been in a couple networking events.
has she? Okay.
Yeah, but she wasn't at the Chico one.
Okay.
Anyhow, so as you imagine, being young, 17 years old, having a child, I knew back then that, even before I met my wife, I knew that, again, grew up on the poverty side. All my relatives were, into drugs, and it was rough. Won't get into those details. I don't mind talking about it, but it's boring. I knew back then that I wanted to be different, right? Just wanted to, I wanted to have things. I wanted to have life. I knew there was more out there. I don't know how I knew it, but I just, I knew there was something out there. So met my wife, got a taste of, her parents being successful and things like that. And oddly enough, her family was into multifamily as well. So they're actually a husband-wife team, manager meaning supervisor team
Oh wow.
for Ray Stone. So
wow.
way back then.
Way back.
So anyhow, so even still, so getting the taste of success on that side, knowing her dad's story and her mom's story that they came similar situations, being young and who I was, I wanted to do the hardest thing out there. I wanted to be, I wanted to challenge, truly wanted to challenge. Till this day, I love having a challenge.
Yeah.
To the point where I ended up getting a job in multifamily. Before that, I did fast food, did whatever it needed. So I knew I needed to get a job and pay bills, and we got a kid coming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you gotta,
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So we got turned on to multifamily. Did that. Worked in a high rise downtown for about 6 months, and I was 17, so I was going to continuation high school. So check in once a week with the teacher, stuff like that.
Good.
And my wife was pregnant, so the school we went to. So we grew up in the Antelope area.
Okay.
So went to Center High, and the program they had going there was pretty successful. It was good for us. It allowed us to do what we needed to do. So got into multifamily and kind of stuck with that. I can remember having to ask for time off in order to go to my graduation. So stuck with that. So I actually did multifamily for 9 years before I ended up getting my own.
Who did you work for?
Group Interland Management.
Oh,
How long have you been in?
I'm 30 plus years.
Okay, so
I know Group Interland.
Okay.
I know Interland.
All right,
Yes. Yes.
So I worked for them for 9 years. I was at the first property that they took on.
What property is that?
It's now called the Palms. It was called Innsbruck Village back then.
Yeah, I know. I was
Palms?
It's the Palms. But,
Oh, okay.
So that's funny because I worked next door
Oh, it's the Point West?
at Point West Place.
Oh, is that right? No
Yeah.
kidding. Okay, maybe that's why you look familiar.
Yes.
I
bet you we worked because we were neighbors.
Right.
Back in,
Oh, it's a small world.
I was-
This industry is.
I was in early 90s. That's when I worked there. I was the assistant manager.
Okay. So I was. So I graduated in '97. So I worked there in '96, pretty much, and on.
Me, that was probably about the same time I was there.
Oh, is that right? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, how
Interesting.
funny is that?
Wow. So the multifamily stuff, I mean, being a maintenance guy was great, taught me a lot. But back then I even knew I needed to do something bigger, something better. I just had this drive to want to do something more challenging. You know what I mean? So I wanted what was the hardest trade out there? How can I? Because I had friends and family that was construction, stuff like that. But I wanted to do more than just swing a hammer. I wanted to do something that was difficult, if you will.
Yeah.
And I ended up becoming friends with the HVAC vendor that we used back then, Joe Potter, and we're still friends till today. I mean, he ended up being. I mean, I can get in a lot of detail here, but we ended up being friends, and he's basically my mentor. Got to the point where it's like, okay, Joe has nothing more to offer as far as the knowledge and how to grow a business. So it got to the point where I actually had to go outside him and beyond that, and then just lean on people that I looked as being successful, and take it from there. Kind of.
Obviously, he's doing the right thing. Yes, successful. So you just follow him. It's the right way to do it.
It is, but it's definitely what do they call it? The School of Hard Knocks, right?
Yeah.
And you have to commit time. I
Yes.
mean, again, I did the multifamily thing. Well, actually, you can say I'm still doing the multifamily thing, and fast forward, it's been 31 years, something like that.
Yeah.
In the industry. So I've been on my own for June. I was thinking about this on the way here. This June will be, which is coming up, 22 years. I've been a contractor.
So you started your business 22 years ago?
I did 2004.
Wow.
Yeah, 2004. Yeah.
So what made you decide I'm going to start my own business? I'm going to do my own thing.
So again, I always knew way back then. Like I can remember being at Park Point West, the Palms, and working. So again, I've had a few mentors along the way.
Yeah.
The maintenance supervisor then was Dana Foster. I don't know if you remember Dana, but he was very well known in that industry.
Yeah.
He's not around anymore. Unfortunately, he passed away, but he was a very good guy, very unique individual. And him and I just clicked since day one. And he taught me everything he knew on the maintenance side of things. And to the point where I'm trying to remember it. I'm bad with math. He was my mentor on the maintenance supervisor side, to the point where I ended up being the youngest maintenance supervisor within the portfolio of Group Netherland, as well as running the largest portfolio they had, which was Fairlake Apartments at the time. Now it's 1100 Howell. So I was, you gotta figure out, I was there when I was
Crazy.
I was 26 when I started the business, and I was there for 2.5 years. So I was 24 and a half, something like that, years old, managing a team of 12 employees under me, plus doing the scheduling and all that stuff with all the vendors and stuff like that over at Fairlake. If anybody knows Fairlake or or how, it's a very unique property.
Yeah. We know that building well.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and everyone's so much older than you.
Yeah. Oh,
That was
a whole
so
nother
right.
thing. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how is that managing people?
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that question because it's a struggle, and believe it or not, I actually struggle with this, or I could see my employees struggle now because I try to support, knowing the way that I came up in the industry, I try to support them, and I see the struggles they go through along the same lines. So imagine being 23, 24 years old, and you've got this, at that time, 40, 45, even a 50-year-old grown man.
Yeah.
And you've got to give them direction. And here they're looking at you like
You're a kid. You're a little kid. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. I'll tell you, I was a kid that took pride in what I did, and I knew it. Once I focus on something, I will learn it through and through, and I will be able to teach on that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But there's a reason why you were the boss, even though because of your age, it doesn't matter. There's a reason why you were the boss.
I would say I would agree with you now. Fast forward, right?
Yeah.
But back then, let me tell you, and that's why I say I can relate to my employees that I have now, right? I can see them struggling with that because back then, I take that. I was just focused on doing what I needed to do, and I knew that's what needed to be done. At the same time, for me, I even deal with this till today. You have to understand how to connect with people, right?
Yeah.
And
That's what it's about.
exactly, yeah. No matter how you look at life, you need to figure out how to connect. If you want to be successful, you got to figure out how to connect with someone, right?
Yeah.
And back then, trying, again, 24, 25 years old, trying to figure out how can I relate to this, 50-year-old guy that's been doing this for 20 years already, and I've only been doing it for a couple of years. How do you relate to that, right? Well, I always go back to, again, I look at this now, just be human. Just literally, just be human and have a conversation. Try not to let, as much as other people tell me I'm different, try not to let emotions get in the way, right? So just be upfront and tell where you're coming from, kind of situation, and help me understand why did you do what you did, and then let me explain to you why we do it this way. Does that make sense? Yeah. And that was taught to me by, honestly, it was my wife's parents. That was taught to me by Dana, my mentor. He's like, hey, we need to do it this way. It works, and we get results. So till this day, and he would tell me, hey, if you got a different way of doing it, and you, as long as you keep time management in mind, let's roll with it. Because if it's the same outcome, if you have a better way of doing it, I'll hear you out, kind of thing. So that's kind of the approach I took with the employees back then, and then you throw the human thing, and respect will come naturally.
Yep.
That's what I found. That was the best approach.
Yeah.
I didn't.
That's the greatest approach. I believe that through and through.
But how do you teach that, right? How do you teach that to such a young individual that, back then, you had guys that were in the trades, and I mean, they're very, shake your finger. You got to do this. This is my way, and this is the only way. Jet out. Yeah. There was a lot of that back then.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, there's still that these days.
Oh, there's
you have to learn to change with the times. So it was very tricky. So I really appreciate that question because it was a struggle back then.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I just look at it because I'm a young individual in the multifamily industry, and it's very difficult. I'm 25 years old and trying to tell a gentleman who's 55 years old what to do with marketing. They're looking at me like I'm their grandchild. Right?
Yeah.
Like, what? So
Yeah.
I can see how difficult, especially from being a boss.
Well,
with mate. Oh goodness.
I told Mass, I said, nobody ever took me seriously until I was 30. I remember in my 20s, people looked at me and went, oh,
Yeah.
And I just can't accept that.
Right.
she can't accept
I can't accept
Well,
that.
but you're obviously really good at what you do. So
honestly, I think I'm just gonna throw my own opinion in here. And again, I don't know you that well, but I'll tell you, I think it's a what do you call it? A generational thing, right? So like because my daughter, she's 29, and she is very good at what she does, and she struggles with the same thing that you're mentioning. Okay, that she's been doing for a very long time. And truth be told, she's been working for me much longer than 8 years, 9 years, because she was, oh man, maybe do the math. Well, come up on 22 years, right? And she's 29. What's the difference? 7 years?
Yeah.
So she was 7 years old when I started the business. So she's seen me going from literally a one-man show, one-man guy in a service truck, living my summers, literally till 10, 11 o'clock at night, trying to, keep up the demand of multifamily, because that's what our business base is, till now.
She's been through it all. That.
Yeah. So and she's absorbed it naturally, not knowing it. So trying to explain some things to new people in the office, what multifamily is, and we can get into that later. Because we're an HVAC contractor, right? HVAC, and people don't normally know what multifamily is, right? It's a very tight niche. It's very unique. It's usually not on anybody's radar, right? So when we do these new hires, like in our office and stuff, we have to try to explain to them and train them on who the customer is, right? Well, Jamie does it naturally. She knows how to facilitate that and connect those dots with those people because they didn't come from the multifamily industry. But yet we talk to people in the multifamily every single day. We live and we breathe it, and it's different.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to understand and try to explain what that is into a mic. You have to live it in order to.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love it. I absolutely love it. I always feel like I'm stuck in between two different lines of business, right? You got the HVAC side, which I love. Again, I love being a service technician. I love that challenge, right? And then you got the multifamily side.
Yes.
Right? It's two different industries.
Yeah.
Entirely.
Yeah.
Which I imagine you guys go through the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
The marketing side of things.
Absolutely. Yes.
And multifamily. Yeah, it's different.
So do you, now you obviously you work in, mainly multifamily, but do you also have homes?
Oh, yeah. No, we definitely do homes as well. But I would say if I had to put a number on it, 95% of what we do is for multifamily.
Wow, that's a lot.
You ask another HVAC company what multifamily is, and they'll tell you it's a duplex.
Yeah. No.
Far from it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really. And multifamily is all about relationship based.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Business to business. Period. I try to explain that to even my wholesalers and suppliers and things like that, and they just don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't get it. Yeah. I could blow your mind. The HVAC industry is well, when you think HVAC, what do you think? You think probably what, like Bell Brothers or all these names around there. I mean, think marketing, right?
Yeah.
Right. So think that, right?
That's the big billboards are on the side of the freeway and things like that. Yeah.
We don't do any advertising. Less than 1% of our budget goes towards advertising.
Yeah. It's all relationship based. You go to all the IRM,
The networking
events, things like that. Yeah.
And you have to touch them one-on-one.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
if we're talking Gary, you have to go to do that.
Yeah.
But I also recognize that in multifamily, in order to sit down in front of the right person, that in itself is difficult, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's we do.
Yeah,
we do that all the time.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah.
Well, I've been in multifamily for over 35 years, and I worked on both sides.
So you've got a reputation as well. So that's people already know you naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like, working on site. I started as a leasing agent and then up to a regional manager, and then I worked on the vendor side. So I know what it's like on both ends.
That's great.
So
and now you're able to pass it down, right?
I'm able to pass it down.
Yeah.
So and then now it's fun. We're getting business in other industries too.
Right.
So
All right. Oh, it's definitely fun. Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. We do the residential side. It's not that we market to them. We have a Facebook page, Instagram, all that good stuff, and we keep up on that.
Yeah.
But it's more so to stay relevant, right? So if you think branding, period, which that's a whole nother topic, right? It's not that we market towards the residential. We're not going to turn it away because my biggest thing in business is we have to keep our employees busy.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
The one thing that I hate, absolutely despise of the HVAC industry, and I'm sure any other HVAC contractor would agree, well, heck, for that matter, any contractor, period, is the fact that our work is seasonal.
Yeah.
Right. So why is it my employee's fault that he or she works for a company that is seasonal, and I have to tell him, hey, I'm sorry, I don't have any work for you. Right.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, they have bills just as I have. Bills,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're all consumers, period, no matter how you look at it. Right. So how's that employee going to provide for their families if they don't have the work to go do to capture those hours, right?
Right.
So that's our number one thing, is keep our employee busy.
Oh, that's not. Yeah.
We have to. And as you can imagine, the struggle that it is in multifamily, in order to do that, is very, very difficult, very tricky.
Yeah, for sure.
But I like to think we're pretty good at it, though.
Yeah.
or we've became good at.
Well, you definitely have a good reputation out there. I mean,
Thanks.
I hear, I hear your name quite a bit.
Is that right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
We
You
try.
You definitely got a good route.
Yeah, I think it goes back to like you mentioned. You started out as a leasing agent, and worked your way up. Same here. I started out as a maintenance technician. Back then I think I was making I think I was making like $6 an hour.
I was gonna say like
Wild. Then to hear what they're making these days, I'm like, man, if I could only, any kind of thing,
Yeah, I know.
Going from little maintenance guy, moving up the ladder throughout the years with Group Interland, learning as much as I can, absorbing as much as I can. And then, eventually getting out on my own and then go from the service truck, being a one-man show, to hire my brother that worked for me for, he's still around, don't get me wrong, but he's not in the service truck anymore. But, I was 2 years on my own before my older brother came to work for me. So then he's with me ever since.
Oh, he still works for you?
He doesn't necessarily work for me. He's around. He's more of a consultant, if you will.
Oh, okay.
But,
Cool.
but he's got some medical issues why he can't physically can do things.
Okay.
So he's still around. We bring him in to help talk to the guys and share the stories, because I'm good for stories, right? Because I try to relate to my technicians.
Yeah.
Right. Whether they're a service technician or an installer or an apprentice or a laborer. You know what I mean? And truth be told, even with the office staff that we have, I try to relate. I mean, again, going back to the one-man show, right?
Yeah.
Again, I would be out till, this may sound strange. I don't know if it's believable, but, David and I would be out, that's my brother. We would be out till 9, 10, sometimes 11 o'clock at night, just keeping up with the demand back then. So meaning, we set that standard back then. So, if people, like you said, have a good name, that's great. I appreciate that. But it's probably because of that effort back then.
Because of effort, yeah.
So long ago,
Right.
And I tried
You
to
have that in you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that in itself is hard to teach, right?
Oh yeah, no, it's either you do or you don't.
Right. Yeah. So to the point where like trying to relay that back to the office and good old California, trying to stay within the legal limits of how long you work an employee for, but knowing multifamily is so demanding that you have to get it done. So we're constantly evolving our schedule, right, to make sure that we can get to everybody. You know what I mean? Yeah. So then, as a business owner, and Jamie has to keep an eye on the schedule and our growth, and when's it time to hire another technician, or heck, when are we too slow? Do we have to lay a technician off? Those kind of things.
That's tricky.
Yeah, and for the record, that's only happened twice.
Oh, okay.
We may overwork them, but then we gauge it off the employee. And when I say overwork, I mean we gauge off them, meaning they want the overtime. Yeah, I mean we are huge advocates on not burning an employee out, right? So again, going back to when my brother and I were working till
that's good.
9, 10 o'clock at night. I mean, I would have to prepare my wife months in advance of the summer and be like, hey, I'm not going to be around. You need to make sure you keep the kids busy. And, it's going to be a couple months before we have the weekend together kind of thing.
Yeah, because I'm going to be so busy.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, something came to my mind. When you were working maintenance, and when you're a maintenance tech and a maintenance supervisor, you're doing HVAC, but you're also handling plumbing and electrical and all these other things. Why did you decide to go that route? Was that your favorite thing to do?
It was my favorite thing to do, but because it was the most challenging. So if anybody else can watch this podcast and they're in any other trade, for me, so don't get me wrong, we're plumber as well. So I got bored like 2 years ago and I went out and got my C36.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow, okay.
Don't get me wrong, I don't like plumbing.
Oh, okay.
I only did it for legal reasons, because we do water heaters for the HVAC side of things as well.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
They kind of go hand in hand.
Okay.
Oh, I wanted to make sure that we were totally legal to do those water heaters, so I'm also a plumber as well.
Okay.
But we don't do the plumbing side of things. Once I started putting out there to people that I'm a plumber now, we are a plumber now.
Oh.
They wanted to give us any and all their work. I'm like, no, slow the roll. Oh yeah, we do water heaters.
Okay.
Water heaters. You ask any other HVAC technician, even for that matter, even a maintenance technician that's good at doing the HVAC work, one of the reasons why they do it is because they like the satisfaction, for one, fixing something broke, for two, to actually see and feel the results, right? So you imagine being 100 degrees outside, it's 85, 90 inside someone's apartment, right? Or someone's home, and you get to feel that difference. You know what I mean? And this is gonna sound really weird, but people, the ones that don't expect it, they are very grateful. Okay.
Yeah.
I used to tell people, back when Master, you're probably gonna be too young for this, and I apologize. You remember the cable guy, the movie Cable Guy with Jim Carrey? Remember how they said, that he was like the greatest thing. This is before online movies and YouTube and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
The cable guy has a lot of pull, right?
Yeah.
I used to tell people, right, I got more pull than the cable guy. And I say that because when you call to make a service appointment and it's 100 degrees outside, and you call to make that appointment to fix their air conditioner, they will make sure they're home. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Especially in Sacramento when it's 110 degrees outside.
Exactly, yeah. But if we call right now with this weather, they're not gonna let you in and fix their air conditioner, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna make themselves available because people have to have their air conditioner working.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's when you go to a little lady's house and she's 70, 80 years old, and her air conditioner hasn't been working for 3 to 4 days, and you go in there and you have the part on the truck and you actually get that unit up and going. She is so grateful.
Yeah.
And that for itself, I could go back to the having a human conversation. It's gonna sound really weird, maybe get too deep, but that's humanity.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Yeah.
Like, whether the maintenance guy was there before or they called another vendor out and they couldn't figure it out or whatever it is, but yet we were actually able to fix that and get it up and going, and to also know that we had the part on the truck, let alone the knowledge to fix that. That is rewarding.
Yeah.
It
That truly is.
Yeah.
That truly is.
Yeah, because I remember when mine went out. Remember when my AC went out? This was probably about a year and a half ago. It was the worst thing in the world. Like, I never thought how I was like, I felt so privileged, but no, it's something you don't even realize. I was dying, absolutely dying. There was a week without it.
People take it for granted.
We really do.
Yeah.
And then when it got fixed, I was hugging the guy. I'm not even kidding. And so I know exactly, and I can't imagine.
to be hot.
Yeah, I can't.
Me too. My thermostat stays 70 degrees all year long.
Yeah. I don't think I ever turn on my
Summer.
computer.
Yeah. Oh no, these days I'm cold all the time.
I don't like to be cold. I don't mind the heat. I like to. I want to move to Arizona because I love 100 degrees.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't like to be cold.
Yeah. Well, to work in the industry, the heat never really bothered me. Even till today, like you get some guys that work for you and they sweat all the time. Their body's doing what it needs to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'd be out there and like my doctor always told you need to drink more water, And, yeah, I feel fine. I'm good, But it's definitely you have to condition yourself for that. Or a lot of guys do. But I don't mind the heat, but when I get home, I want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
That's why my thermostat stays 70 degrees all year long.
And he deserved that.
Yeah.
He'd been up on roofs and everything else. Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So I do have a question for you. When you were first starting this company back when you were 26, did you ever imagine both of your kids being involved in the company?
I mean,
was right now.
I'd hope for it.
Yeah.
But as a young parent, you don't want to tell, hey, you're gonna work for me.
Yeah.
I think so. Jamie went out and she did the college thing. She did her own thing. She worked for a couple different companies, and then at a young age, I tried to tell her, you need to major in business. Period.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
And Dad, I'm not gonna listen to you. And my wife again, no, you don't need to tell her that. She needs to learn her own way. Yeah, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And so that's what we did. We wanted her to, because I'm not gonna force her into it, or even Josh for that matter. So we let them do their own thing. So Jamie ended up majoring in recreational management, believe it or not.
Okay.
So which you could take that degree and you can either go as I mentioned before, I'm into off-roading and stuff like that. So we do a lot of camping as a kid. I grew up doing it when I was a kid. We kind of kept that going. So she could either work for the forestry industry, sorry, or you can use that as a teaching credential as well.
Oh, I didn't know.
So she actually worked at a school for, I apologize, Jamie, year and a half, something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then
He was apologizing to Jamie.
Yeah. Because it's the daughter, she's gonna come back same day. It
right.
really actually, because that's me as the older.
Okay. Yeah, so it's a great feeling now. I'll tell you that. But we did not want to direct them that way. So we would let them go out and see, and then they came this way, and it's a great thing. I mean,
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I
awesome.
my daughter. So we work together. We own the company together. So
I'm gonna say I'm happy for you guys, but I understand the struggles you guys go through.
yeah, I get it.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So I have a question. So
Yeah.
what was the most difficult time during your journey?
Difficult? That's probably one of the questions that I struggle with, because they say in order to be successful in business, you have to fail, right?
Yeah.
And this is probably going to sound strange or conceited or whatever, but I like to think that there was small failures along the way, but I knew failure was not an option. So as far as anything being difficult, I would say being patient enough with myself, because I've been known to have a short attention span, because progress doesn't happen fast enough. So with that being said, the seasonal side. So I think that's why I'm so I'm going to use the word passionate.
Yeah.
And some people are listening to this are going to be laughing right now. I'll share that with you later. But that's why I'm very passionate to my team, to my administration team, to make sure our guys stay working.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, that whole seasonal thing we just mentioned, right? It's not their fault that we're seasonal. Okay.
Yeah.
We have to learn how to, I call flatten the curve, right? Because in HVAC or in the trades period, whether it's plumbing, electrical, whatever it is, we have peaks and valleys in business, right?
Yes.
And it has to do with the weather.
Yes.
Well, it's my mission to flatten that curve, right? Because I don't want big profit margins here and focus on the profit margin here when we're gonna have a dip that's way down here, right? I want to flatten that curve. I'd rather have it consistent.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Instead of those peaks and valleys.
Yes.
Right. So why can't we focus on that and make sure that becomes the normal, if you will, rather than, oh, summer's coming, we need to hire, I don't know, 5 guys or 10 guys or whatever it is. No, how about we worry about hiring 2 guys and we keep the guys we had before busy all year long, and we hire them 2 more on for that growth. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably the trickiest part nowadays.
Yeah.
I hope that answered your question.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. Yeah, definitely. A couple of my other questions were the mentor, but you answered those already. And then let's see. I want to hear about your okay. So I did some digging about Brown's Motorsports, and I have to tell you, your social media is on point.
Oh, really?
It's good.
Is that right?
It is. Okay. So yeah. So I compared your social media with your heating and air.
Oh yeah. Nothing
It, it doesn't even compare.
Yeah.
I mean, the videos, the drone footage is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
It's amazing. I don't know who's doing it, but they're doing a great job. And then you got some other videos that I think some other off-road companies, you do a lot of collab posts and things like that.
We try.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I would like to hear about that, because you race?
So earlier I made the comment about the passion thing, and people were gonna laugh about that. So one of the interviews I did with the off-road promoter for the main circuit that we race, they did an interview. They want to know who I was, who my team is, and who Brown Seating Air was, and things like that.
Yeah.
So I kept mentioning the word passionate, and then there's like even amongst the other racers, there's a drinking game now, because I anyways, change that. It goes deep. And anything that I touch, I tend to have a passion for it, and that's why I see it through, right? That's why if you think about what that meaning is, what that word means, I want to make sure you're serious about it, kind of thing. So anyhow,
So anything that you touch, anything that you do, you take it to the next level. That's
I try, right? I mean, and try to be consistent
that.
about it. Yeah, I mean, that's in order to be successful, you gotta study it, right? You gotta, how can I be better? How can I do this? How can I do that?
That's great.
I love that. That's how you are.
Oh,
You.
I think it's you too. Yeah, where I get it from.
Well, I mean, the apple didn't fall far from the tree, they say,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But so off-roading is my passion. There you go. I said it for those out there.
Yep.
It's what I've always done in the off time. I've always been a firm believer that when we go to work, a person needs to go to work for something, right?
Yeah.
Not just to pay bills, not just to live life. You need to be able to enjoy it on another level. Okay. You need to have that something to strive for. Some people it's I don't know. I mean, what are you guys passionate about? What do you guys do around and off time? There you go. So some people like to travel. Some might be, whether it's via an airplane or an RV, or or you're just hopping in your truck and going camping or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So I grew up at a young age camping. So I tried to pass it on to my kids and turn my wife onto it. She'd been camping a couple of times, but it is literally our lifestyle now. So the off-roading side of things kind of developed into the racing side. Off-roading meaning it started out with ATVs and dirt bikes. That's what I did when I was a kid. Just recreational, around the house kind of thing. And then it's kind of evolved from there. From one down here to way up here kind of thing.
So these machines have gotten bigger and bigger and faster.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, it makes sense. Like, think about when we go camping, because our family does similar stuff, not obviously racing, but like equipment that's kind of similar.
Like the side by side.
Yeah.
And so I don't own them. My brothers have them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are familiar then. So back before side by sides, right? We were on quads. We were on ATVs.
Yeah.
So my kids grew up doing that. And then I personally like the challenge of the extreme sport, and I'm gonna go. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the Rubicon Trail or something, right? It's known worldwide for jeeping, if you will. So we got very heavily into the jeeping side. So we went from ATVs to the jeeping side, which as a kid I always dreamed of having an off-road vehicle, being a Jeep. Back then the Toyotas weren't a thing. That's all another. Off-roading in itself is a lifestyle. Okay. And then you got the racing side of things, which is lifestyle. But again, it all stems back to evolving from one thing to there. Majority of the guys that are racing off-road or racing Ultra 4 or NorCal rock racing, they all started out in recreating, on the Rubicon Trail or something like that, in a Jeep or Toyota pickup or something like that. Right. So then it goes down to, okay, well, I think I can go through the Rubicon, I think something that would take a normal person 2 days, some guys take 3 days to do a whole Rubicon Trail. We'll do it in less than an hour, and it's but the, like you mentioned, the machines. So like the side by sides, they have to be built for that. Meaning side by sides weren't around, I don't know, 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They were, if you look at the evolution of off road, they were again, ATVs were the thing. I mean, even before ATVs was dirt bikes, right? So it's gotten to the point where now we have these off-road race cars, race trucks, if you will, that make your extreme Jeep just look like a toy. So now we're heavily into the off-road racing side. Like I mentioned, Ultra 4. I just got back from King of the Hammers a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago now. And if you guys, when you did your search, did you see anything about King of the Hammers? Because that in itself is a whole nother thing.
No.
Okay, that's the King of the Hammers is our Super Bowl of the off-road racing side of things.
Oh, big deal. Okay.
Where is it at?
It's down in Johnson Valley, which is roughly about 2 hours south of 29 Palms. Or sorry, Vegas.
Okay.
Near 29 Palms.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's we're going through canyons like you would not believe. The best way and everybody in this industry struggles trying to explain King of the Hammers. So we do what we call it. So the jeeping side is what we call rock crawling. You guys heard that term before?
Right.
Okay. All right. So to me, that's the fun part. I started out doing the after the ATVs, it was rock crawling, right? Okay. So how can we get, somebody would look at a trail and they'd be like, oh, we can't go there. Heck,
It's like
figured out.
Yeah, like you're driving like this, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. You're putting a tire up on a rock,
Oh, that's
high or something like that. Yeah. Well, then you start getting used to that and the challenge. You conquer that, and then you're like, "Oh, I think I can do it faster. I think I can get through that faster." Well, yeah. So now you need a machine, a Jeep, or we call it a buggy or whatever, that can do it faster. Well, fast forward to what King of the Hammers is it's kind of the cross between. Everybody's heard of Baja racing, right?
Yeah,
so you take the big trucks and you go fast,
Yes.
right? So the key leaders in the Ultra 4 industry or the off-road industry, they have their own story, but it's very long-winded. But it's basically a cross between a Baja truck and a rock crawler, right? Which is very hard to imagine, and that's what we now have. And the sport is roughly about 20 years old. The Ultra 4 racing scene.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
To where King of the Hammers just celebrated their 20-year anniversary this past February or early February. Well, it's known literally worldwide. So it is the hardest. They're calling it the hardest one-day off-road race in the world, is what it is.
So were you in that race?
Yeah, yeah. So
Did you win?
No, we did not win. No,
Oh my.
it's bragging rights just to finish the race.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you finish the race?
No, actually, this year was bad. I'll get into that in a second. But we finished it before in the past. We finished it on time. When I say finish, I mean on time.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you got the guys that finish it. That's not on time. That, like I said, that in itself is bragging rights, literally.
Oh.
Because we're going. The race this year. The race was I should know this. 186 miles, something like that. But remember,
gosh.
yeah. But remember, we're doing fast desert stuff. Hitting speeds of 100 plus.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, yes. That's the fun side, right?
Oh my.
Yeah, and then we're rock crawling, right? And when I say rock crawling, we're going through canyons that are bigger than your car, bigger than your truck. And again, you just have to YouTube it and look up some videos because it's a whole nother thing. Anyways, to give you an idea. Oh, it's
I'm going to.
Yeah,
You have to after
it's a blast. You're gonna want to like edit that in to
Oh yeah, we are gonna. Oh, we're gonna.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure Brown's Motorsports is in there. There's been a lot. There's been years past. There's been people that have finished. There's different classes.
Mm-hmm.
But this year only 2 people finished.
And how many people total?
Yeah. So in the class that we're in, so there's different divisions. Right. There's different divisions. The class that we're now in is what they call the 4400 class, which is the unlimited class. So, which basically means you can have, your engine can be 500 horsepower, 200 horsepower, or it can be upwards of 1,000 horsepower. It's unlimited, literally. Yeah. So your tires are unlimited, the size of the tires, your suspension, things like that. So yeah, only 2 people finished this year. So this year we had 86 people register for the race. So 86 people started, in our class. Total across all classes, I believe they had 800 teams. Again, just teams. So 800 teams registered because the dirt bikes race, the side by sides, the stock Jeeps, stock Toyotas, Bronco, Ford's backing it right now. So I think they had like 6 or 7 new Ford Broncos that race it. Jeep has sponsored it. They've got Jeep comes in. Again, it's a very elaborate race. It's very addicting.
Wow.
Yeah,
That is
just
really
the challenge
cool.
itself.
That's
Just
cool.
the challenge is a lot of us do it for the challenge, right? Just to be able to say, hey, I did that. Well, we've been around that. We've been going to King of the Hammer for 14 years, and we've been racing it. I can't remember, either 8 or 9 years, or something like that. We've been racing it for.
That's really
So is everyone out there camping and stuff?
Yes.
Because it's just a big old desert, I'm assuming,
Yeah,
right?
it's in the middle of nowhere. Literally, it is. So a lot of us have like toy haulers or RVs and things like that. But it takes a lot. I mean, to get your team out there. I mean, if you're lucky to get 5 people to come out to help you, you're lucky. You're one of the lucky guys. A lot of guys go out there and it's them and their co-driver if they have a co-driver. Like me, I don't have a co-driver anymore. Where before in the past I had a co-driver. But for me, knowing again that whole passion thing, right, and wanting to succeed in what we do, I know in order to the sport has gotten so extreme, if you will, so competitive that in order to you have to be able to push the limits to be able to push not only yourself and your car that you're in. Think about what that does, right? So if you have somebody next to you doing the navigation and helping you navigate, whether you're doing 100 miles an hour or you're doing 20 miles an hour, and then you throw in how dangerous the sport is. I mean, imagine being in the dust. I mean, I'll try to explain. Pick the foggiest day you've ever driven in, and I want you to times that times 5. Literally, I cannot see from me to you. That's how dusty it gets.
Oh my gosh.
And they would
Imagine how many people are driving.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
and we're trying to traverse through, try to travel through. Again, we're racing, right? So we're trying to go as fast as we can safely, right? Well, for me, back when we first got into racing, I had my best friend co-driving for me. We started out doing, hey, we're gonna go make some memories. We're just gonna. We weren't competitive at all, at any means, right?
Yeah.
So I had acquired a car back then. It was not competitive, but it was a great starter, right? Well, it got to the point where it's like, okay, well, let's push a little harder. Let's push a little harder. It was to the point where we had a reputation of rolling the car over, right? Yeah, that's extreme to the normal people, stuff like that. But to us guys that are in the sport, rolling, it's not.
It's not a deal.
Well, we've seen people rolling at like the dunes and stuff.
Yeah. So the
And
side stuff,
Yeah.
my uncle, and we see it, and I'm like this person actually did get very injured, so thank goodness we were all there. But it's a thing.
Yeah. Roy, I can't even go. I don't even go with him. I don't even go at all because
I said, I have anxiety.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. It's not for everybody. It's not.
scary.
I wouldn't be able to go. I would have so much anxiety.
Yeah. It's don't get me wrong. I cannot sit in that passenger seat myself. It's weird. Like if I go with my buddies or something like that, it's very hard. I actually co-drove with somebody else in another class this year just for qualifying, and it was really difficult.
Yeah.
It was very, very difficult.
You have to drive.
But I know how to look at the machine and what it's capable of doing, and then I'm feeling that guy's ability, and honestly, I have to trust that person. So it's the only time that I've co-drove. Actually, I take it back. Second time I've co-drove with somebody, and it was I couldn't do it every day.
Yeah, you have to really trust that person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my best friend that was riding co-driver with me, because your co-driver is offering a GPS. Like literally, you've got a GPS in front of you. Literally, that's all they're looking at. I mean, his face will be this close to it. It'd be 12 inches from the GPS.
Yeah.
And he's watching that, right? Okay, you turn here, turn there, kind of thing. Now keep in mind, you're programming this GPS as you go along. You prior to that race.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm referring to like a desert race, like King of the Hammers. We have to go out and what we call pre-run the race, right? And we mark our dangers and things like that. So actually, this will be a good segue into what happened to me this year. So you guys got to the point where we started gaining some traction back then and became competitive. Well, it came time to, we were done with racing. The racing scene got very, very expensive. It is very expensive to the point where I was like, you know what? I think we're, this car's not competitive. It's going to cost way too much to get into another car. I think we're done racing. At that time we've done it for I think we did it for like 3 years or something like that. So we were ready, the family was ready to take a break. We were just ready to take a break. So we did that, and then we just kept to our normal, recreating, whether it's going to the sand dunes, because some of you guys go to the sand.
Yeah.
We do the same thing. We used to be big in the sand. And then, going to the, Rubicon Trail, go camping or things like that. And plus my wife likes to go to the beach, so we go camping there kind of. So it's a couple of years off. So then we came back and got into another car in a lower class, we'll stick with that. Less expensive class than the unlimited class, but even still, it was very competitive. It's a very competitive class. Truth be told, there's more contenders in that class than there is in the big class.
Oh,
because it's more reachable, right, for the average person.
For the average person has.
Yeah, so that's really where we got a lot of traction, because we did our homework on what car we wanted that was out there for sale, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And luckily, business was thriving. We're able to, plus we were able to get a couple of sponsors on board and to help us acquire this car. And the car that we ended up getting was very competitive. It had a pedigree, if you will. I know it sounds strange for a race car, right? But I forgot to mention. So my son-in-law, he was into racing as well. Funny part is, in the same style racing, and we never crossed paths before.
Oh, wow.
I know. Yeah, very strange, right?
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, but how big the event is, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is a lot of it.
Even the local stuff. So we do local stuff too. So like over off of it's called. You're in off-road. So you guys know Prairie City?
Yeah.
The off-road park.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's off Prairie City Road.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Imagine that. That's our local track, if you will. So we actually race out there, what we call short course. Okay. So anyway, so Keith is into. He was in the racing scene as well as the off-road world. So it's a very small community, kind of like multifamily, right? Mm-hmm. So it's really strange that we never crossed paths. If we did, we didn't realize it then. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Oh, it is. It's awesome. So now fast forward. So he's actually my crew chief. So he oversees the race car on the mechanic side of things, right? So anyways, that class we became very competitive. So that's where we got a lot of traction, right? No pun intended, being off road and all. Mm-hmm. So we were successful there. Took a couple championships, took a bunch of wins on the podium, stuff like that. To the point that where we won the championship. Like, okay, well, where do we go from here? So I came from the big class, the unlimited. So we sold that car, purchased a bigger car, and again, did our research, got a very competitive car. So now this new car, which I had for a little over a year now, there is no co-driver. It's a single seater.